What if I told you that the biggest rental car mistakes in New Zealand happened before you left the depot? In this video, I'll walk you through the 12 most common rental car mistakes first-time visitors make in New Zealand and exactly how to avoid them. You learn how to choose the right vehicle, the best rental operators, and discover money-saving tips that actually work. Let's get started. So here's mistake number 1, and it's a biggie. Choosing the wrong car size. Many travelers book a car based on price alone, and then reality hits. The car is too small for your luggage, or worse, the engine struggles up New Zealand's steep hills. And here's the deal. If you're a couple traveling light, a compact or an intermediate car works fine. But if you're a family or carrying hiking gear or larger suitcases, go best for an SUV. And here's what most guides won't tell you. Many New Zealand roads are hilly and windy. A small engine means you'll be crawling behind trucks on mountain passes, struggling to overtake safely. My recommendation: for 2 people, go for a compact sized car or SUV. For families or groups, choose at least an intermediate SUV. Yes, it costs a bit more upfront, but you'll save on stress, safety, and actually having the engine power when you need it. Mistake number 2. Underestimating driving distances and times. I see this constantly. Travelers look at Google Maps, see a 3-hour drive and think it's easy. But here's the reality. Google doesn't account for New Zealand's narrow and windy roads. It doesn't account for photo stops or roadworks, or that tourist bus crawling up the hill at 40 kilometers per hour. As a general rule, add 10 to 15% to any Google Map times. A 4-hour drive, plan for 5. This isn't just about timing, it's about fatigue. If you're exhausted from rushing around, you're not going to enjoy those stunning locations. So plan realistically daily distances, and remember, half the magic of New Zealand is in the journey. Those stops along the way are real experiences which will stay with you forever. But wait, here's a hidden fee that most travelers don't see coming, and that fee could cost you hundreds of dollars. Now here's mistake number 3, and this one catches people completely off guard: not understanding one-way fees and pickup rules. With the big international brands like Avis, Hertz and Europcar, one-way fees from $300 or more can be common, especially if the rental is less than 5 days. For example, picking up in Auckland and returning to Rotorua 3 days later. That fee can almost double your rental cost. Here's the workaround. If you're heading to the South Island, return your car back to Auckland and take a direct flight from Auckland to Christchurch, Queenstown, Nelson or Dunedin instead. Then pick up a new rental car there. You often save big money on using a New Zealand-owned rental operator, more on that next, and a much better airfare. And here's the kicker: smaller local operators often have much lower or no one-way fees. Plus, they avoid those nasty airport pickup fees that the big brands charge when you pick up at the airport terminal directly, which brings me to the next point. But before that, if you traveled New Zealand before, let us know about your rental car experiences in the comments box below. Mistake number 4. Not understanding the difference between the big rental brands and smaller local operators. Most travelers assume the big international names are safer, newer, more reliable. But here's what I've learned after years of planning guest itineraries. New Zealand's smaller, locally owned operators often provide better value, similar vehicle ages, and surprisingly better customer service. Big brands charge premium rates for airport pickups, one-way fees and extras. Small operators are flexible and they often have depots near the airports or in the city centers. Their cars are well maintained and often just as new as the big guys. And here's the cost advantage. Those smaller operators provide a complimentary shuttle transfer from the airport terminal to the nearby depot, which means you avoid those nasty airport charges that larger operators apply at the airport terminals. My advice, use the comparison website 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗃, link in the description box below. It shows you the big brands as well as the local operators side by side. You can filter by price, reviews, insurance policies, and you often find a great rental deal with a local operator that treats you like a person, not a transaction. And wait until you hear the mistakes that wastes the most time and money. It's coming up next. But before we continue, if you find this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button below to stay in touch for more helpful travel videos to come. And please tick that like button below, that really helps us to grow our channel. Thank you very much. Alright, here's mistake number 5, and honestly, this one drives me crazy. Booking your rental car before planning your itinerary. I can't tell you how many travelers do this. They see a cheap rental car from Auckland to Queenstown, book it, and then try to build their trip around those dates and locations. The result? A rushed, unbalanced itinerary that either wastes time backtracking or skipping incredible places because the car has to be back on Thursday. So here's the right way to do it. Plan your itinerary first. Decide where you want to stay, how many nights, which national parks you want to explore. After you having dates and locations sorted, then book your car to match that plan. This way, you're designing a trip based on experiences and not just on logistics. And here's a pro tip. If you're short on time, say you only have 2 or 3 weeks, split your time with 1/3 of your time in the North Island and 2/3 of your time in the South Island. Use a domestic flight in between. Don't waste precious days driving the entire length of both islands. I've put my sample itinerary playlist in the description box below. They provide a great head start. Also, I'm offering an itinerary planning service. Also see the link in the box below. Mistake number 6, not booking early enough. New Zealand's rental car market runs on supply and demand. During the peak summer, that's between December and March, and during school holidays, prices can literally double. SUVs sell out. Larger cars disappear, and what's left? Overpriced options that don't suit your needs. Simple fix: book 6 to 8 months in advance, for Christmas season even longer, especially if you're traveling with a family. And here's what nobody tells you about New Zealand roads, and this mistake costs you the experiences you actually came here for. Now, mistake number 7, driving far too much. I see itineraries all the time where travelers try to do everything. They land in Auckland, drive the entire North Island, take the ferry to the South Island, loop all the way down to Queenstown, and then somehow drive back all the way to Auckland to catch their flight. It's madness. Here's the reality. New Zealand is bigger than it looks, and those roads, they are slow. Beautiful, yes, but slow. If you spend half your time behind the wheel, you're missing the whole point. The hikes, the boat cruises, the wildlife, the wine tasting. My golden rule: stay 2 nights minimum at key locations as much as possible. Give yourself time to explore without the pressure of packing every morning. And again, use domestic flights strategically. That's what I call smart travel. Again, tell us about your experiences in the comments box below. It's so important that other travelers read this. Mistake number 8, using the ferry between the North and South Island when you're on a limited time budget. Now, the Inter-Island and Blue Bridge ferries are iconic. The scenery through the Marlborough Sounds is stunning. But here's what most guides won't tell you. The ferry is time consuming. Can be expensive when you factor in the vehicle fare, the fuel, and here is the big one: it's weather dependent. Rough seas can delay or even cancel sailings, mechanical issues happen, and if you're stuck at the ferry terminal for a day or 2, your entire itinerary collapses. My advice: unless you're traveling in a motorhome or have no other options, skip the ferry. Fly between the islands. It's faster, often cheaper when you calculate the total costs and book a few months ahead, and more reliable. Okay, this one sounds basic, but I've seen experienced travelers make this $2,000 mistake at the petrol station. Alright, mistake number 9. Not planning your fuel stops, and yes, putting the wrong fuel into your tank. This sounds basic, but it happens more than you think. Most rental cars run on unleaded petrol, which is the green nozzle at the pump. Diesel comes out of the black colored nozzle. If you're renting a motorhome or larger four-wheel drive, you need diesel. Double check before you fill up. Also, some remote locations like 𝗀𝗂𝘁𝘂𝗯𝗏 on the west coast of the South Island have no petrol stations at all, so plan ahead. And if you're considering an electric or hybrid vehicle, know that New Zealand's EV charging stations are growing, but there are still limitations in rural areas. I include a link to EV charging stations in the description box below. Mistake number 10. Trying to change your rental mid-trip. Once you pick up your car, changing your return location or rental period usually triggers fees. Unused days, non-refundable. Want to drop off your car somewhere else? That's an additional location change fee, which is very steep, especially in the peak season, $1,000 New Zealand dollar plus. Rental operators have tight logistics. Their fleets is pre-booked and they need your car at the planned location for the next customer. So plan carefully from the start, log in those dates and locations and stick with them. Now the next decision could be the difference between a $50 stretch and a $3,000 nightmare. Mistake number 11. Trying to save money by skipping on proper rental car insurance. Look, I'll get it. Insurance feels like an unnecessary expense, but for a short-term rental like 2 to 3 weeks, using the full insurance cover offered by the rental operator is worth it. If you damage the car, scratch on a car park or hit a wandering sheep, yes, that does happen, the rental car is covered with zero excess cost to you. For longer rentals, say a month or more, you might consider a third-party excess insurance to save costs. But for first-time visitors, just take the full cover. The peace of mind is priceless. And now the most dangerous mistake of all. One that could literally save your life if you avoid it. Finally, mistake number 12. And this one is an important one. Don't drive straight after a long-haul flight. You're exhausted, jet-lagged, and now you're expected to drive on the left-hand side of the road in an unfamiliar car. It's a recipe for disaster. Instead, take a taxi, shuttle or Uber to your first accommodation. Rest and get orientated. Pick up your rental car the next morning when you're fresh and on alert. Trust me, this simple decision could save your life and your holiday. So here you have it, 12 rental car mistakes to avoid in New Zealand. Check out my sample itinerary playlist up here. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.